Very nice. Good girl. Back on it. Down. Down. Oh, such babies. Down. Stay down. Okay. Yeah. Down. Oh my goodness. Down. Good job. Okay. Rosie, go to your bed. No. Rosie, on your bed. Rosie. Down. Okay. On your bed. Yes. Okay. Go to your bed. Rosie. Down. Good job. Okay. Okay. Right, Rosie, on your bed. So funny. Like 3 times in a row, we've done go to your bed, and Rosie has run past it to nothing in particular, and then come back and gotten on the bed. Gotta figure out what that pattern's about. Okay. Excuse me. Hi, and welcome to No Bones About It Puppy Day School. This is week 3 for Fletcher, and this is team training for Rosie. No cheating in this. You really have to pull away. There we go. Thank you. And that is so cute because this is what a lot of puppies will do. Eventually, it just becomes so hard to have those treats like right in front of your face. So they'll back way away, or they'll do what Fletcher did and just like turn themselves in a completely different direction because it's just so hard to make the right choice. I get it. This is like a dumb game, right? It's so silly. But once the puppy starts to figure out, all I have to do is stop trying to steal and I win, it's amazing. Thank you, Rosie. So Rosie's been doing this a little while longer, so I'm gonna take some treats and I'm gonna just this is sort of like a much harder version where I drop treats. Take it. Okay, when they when they ignore those treats, yes, take it. Then they get to take it from me. So I can drop and add movement. What we're gonna do a little bit later is I'm gonna show you how we practice this in a more realistic manner. We have moved into the kitchen to discuss how we are gonna take some of our basic skills that we've been working on, things like go to your bed, down, and leave it. And how do we, I think the hardest thing about training a puppy is that everybody thinks about all these obedience skills. You think about, sit, down, leash walking, things like that. But we don't really think about how do we utilize all these things to make our lives more enriched with our dog, and how do we utilize those to make our life easier. That's sort of the way I try to look at all of my training is how can I take these things that I'm teaching my puppy and make our lives better with those. So number 1 rule, you see me work outside, and every time I'm working on things like down, I'm working on a specific bed or mat. So here, can we come over here and do a dual, do a double? Come here. Down. Very nice, Rosie. Down. There we go. So I do the same thing in my kitchen area and near a dining table. I pick a particular bed or mat and I build tons of value for that location so that anytime I'm in the kitchen or at a table, instead of having a puppy that, it's so funny, Rosie doesn't quite want to get on the mat. But that's okay. We can share. It's hard when there's two puppies. So, you know, my goal is I don't want my dog underfoot when I'm cooking. I don't want them like literally follow me around when I'm carrying knives and hot pots of water, things like that. And I certainly don't want them begging at the table. So I've got to work really hard to make this other place more amazing. So when I'm in here just doing things like cooking, I keep a bowl of my puppy's kibble. Maybe I take their breakfast or lunch or dinner and I pour half of it in a bowl so that when I'm utilizing, or when I'm in places like this, I can utilize my, my stuff. So I'm just gonna pretend that I've got some stuff up here that I'm cooking. And I'm gonna continuously toss treats down here on this dog bed. Okay, Rosie, down. Okay, so that, and again, the better they get, I can become less obsessed with tossing treats down here. But in the beginning, I'm gonna put lots and lots of things down here so that they're more interested in here than they are up on the counter. This is also how I deal with dogs that wanna jump up on counters, is I am constantly doing a treat toss, like, oh, go find it, go find it. I'm tossing things on the floor of the kitchen so that becomes a thing that the dog is much more obsessed with than what's up on that counter. In the meantime, I have to be very careful that I don't leave food or treats out the dog may be able to reach in some way on a table or a counter. So again, back on our bed, down and down. Very good. So I'm utilizing these skills. Now let's say I was eating, okay? And this may not be, Rosie, down. This may not be something that in the beginning I'm actually trying to eat a meal when I'm trying to do this, but I might sit here for 5 minutes and just practice having the dog stay on their bed when I'm maybe just having a snack or something like that. The other thing that can be really helpful if your dog keeps getting up from their location that you want them to hang out on is use a tie down. Put on their leash and tie it to something so they can't keep getting up and coming over to you or just walking away, because I want them to learn that this is the place you hang out when we're eating. Or when I have guests over and we want to sit and have a cocktail table or a table filled with some glasses of wine, I don't have to worry about your tail swooshing around and you running around the table knocking things off, because I've taught you to go to your place or go to your bed and hang out there. Again, let's say I want to really enjoy a little bit longer of a meal and I don't want to have to keep tossing treats over to my dog as they're learning the skill. I can stuff a Kong with stuff. I can give them maybe some kind of bone or a bully stick. I try to reserve really yummy things like bully sticks for times when I need my dog to be back on your bed, when I need them to be occupied for longer periods of time. So think about those things when you are trying to build skills like hang out in the kitchen and have appropriate behaviors, and hang out when we're eating and have appropriate behaviors. The other thing that we talked about is leave it. How are we going to morph that into a place like a kitchen? So if stuff falls on the ground, your dog isn't dashing for it. You're basically teaching them, check in with me when stuff is of value on the ground. So I can start practicing that leave it skill in that very basic way. Okay, leave it. We haven't done this in the kitchen yet. And remember, anytime you change even a location, it's like teaching a skill from the get-go, from the brand new. If we've never practiced it here, don't assume that they're going to be as good as they were when we practiced it upstairs in the carport. Okay, leave it. Okay, I'm going to start really easy. Take it. Take it. Leave it. I'm going to scoot you back there. Leave it. Okay, I'm going to use my foot to cover this up if the puppies go for it. But look at that. They're doing great. I put those treats on the ground, moved them around, take it. They're doing a really good job. I've got 5 or 6 treats right on the ground in front of them. They're not going for it. Oh, you're doing such a beautiful job. Thank you. I'm going to pick those up, and then again, we're going to add a little bit of movement. I'm going to drop this treat now, Very good. Take it, take it. Okay, so I'm gonna drop it again. Oh, very good. Take it. And then I'm eventually gonna morph that into, I'm standing up at a counter. What happens if things drop off the counter? Oh my gosh, who's so brilliant? They're so brilliant. Okay, something else falls off the counter. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Oh, nothing. Got perfect puppies here. Very good. And so I'm constantly gonna start playing around with things like this. Okay, I'll let you get up because that was so good and so hard. So I want to start moving around to different locations and practicing these skills so that the dog, again, sees value in hanging out in the kitchen and not grabbing stuff that falls from the table or from a counter. I would practice leave it on a coffee table. So if I'm hanging out in the living room and have a coffee table that's nose height of a dog, I would practice by putting, I'm just gonna pull this, I'm gonna do it with this chair, because that's about a coffee table height. Leave it. I'm gonna get the dogs to get up. Okay. Oh, they don't want to, they say, no way, you're trying to trick us. Leave it. Oh, that was so sneaky. See, once we get up and move around, makes it a little bit harder than the stationary version. Leave it. Leave it. Very good. Okay. Take it. Take it. Okay, so we could pretend this was our coffee table. Go ahead, go find it. Oh, that's good. Go find it. Good job. What's on that coffee table? Oh my goodness, you guys are so smart. I do try to get them to walk around because I want them to realize this isn't about planting yourself in a position, although it's easier for them to do that, but I do want them to move around. Ready? Go find it. So sometimes I'll do the go find it's and make them move around like that and then come back over to that thing that has the treats on it, the chair. Leave it. Oh my goodness, you're so smart. Leave it. Very good. And eventually leave it should mean not only do I ignore this thing that I've asked you to leave, but you give me eye contact. And so every time we practice this, that's kind of what I'm aiming for is don't even look at that thing, look at me when you hear leave it, because good things are gonna happen for you. So they're getting really good at this stuff, and I just sort of wanted to show you how to start implementing practicing in a more everyday sort of situation. And these guys are doing great. I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.